Hi everybody, this is Justina with JustynaTHandMade. In today's video, I'm gonna show you how to adapt the pattern for the JT Basic zipper pouch number 2 to a see-through version. So you probably are familiar with the pattern and you may already have it. And if you do, you won't need to purchase any other pattern to create the see-through version. And this one obviously is fully lined, so you have a basic zipper pouch pattern here. But if you want to adapt it to a see-through version, I'm providing you with these instructions. So following the instruction and using the pattern and cut list from the existing pattern, you're going to be able to create this version of the pouch. This is a project that requires very limited amount of supplies. You would just need some waterproof canvas and a piece of see-through vinyl, and the same rule applies to the see-through vinyl. If you don't want to invest in big rolls on printed vinyl and you don't want to commit to the same pattern with a roll, you can create this pattern with the sheets that you can buy from Amazon or other suppliers. So you can create a whole line of those pouches using a whole set with different prints. Also, if you don't have a waterproof canvas, you can replace that with cork or vinyl fabric, or with a jelly vinyl too. When it comes to cork or regular vinyl, you just have to keep in mind that it's not gonna have the same color backing like waterproof canvas has. So we have consistent colors inside and out. But with regular vinyl or cork material, you can fuse HTV on the back side, and then you can really embellish it inside. You can do something that has some glitter in it, so I think that would be really cute as well. For this project, you just want to make sure that you're using fabrics that can be used with the raw edges and they're not gonna fray. Like I said, if you already have a pattern for the JT basic zip pouch number 2, you don't need another pattern. You can just use the templates and the cut list from that pattern. In the next clip, I'm gonna walk you through how to adjust the pattern to get the reverse look, because as you can see, we have our scallops on the waterproof canvas panel this time around, not on our see-through vinyl, because I think it wouldn't be very visible. Before we move on to the sewing portion of the video, I just want to remind you that if you're not yet a subscriber to my channel, please make sure to subscribe. If you like what I do, please make sure to hit the like button, and if you don't want to miss any upcoming videos and pattern releases, please make sure to check the notification bell. You can also make sure to stay up to date with my projects. To do so, you can join my Facebook group, or you can follow me on Instagram. And now, if you want to see how this clear version of the pouch comes together, please keep watching. To start our project, we're gonna prep all our pattern pieces. This is because we don't have any lining, so this is gonna be nice and quick. So we have the panel A cut out of our see-through vinyl, as you can see, and then we have two outer panels cut out of waterproof canvas, and I have my zipper and my zipper pull. You can also add a back tack if that's something you want to do. So first of all, we're gonna mark one of our upper outer panels. So take one. I already have it marked, but I'm gonna show you how to do it. So you want to take one of the panels, and I'm placing it right side down. I'll take my pattern piece and I'm aligning it, those little corners, with the bottom edge of my panel, And I'm gonna now transfer the shape of my panel over to the outer panel. After that's done, and it's probably not very visible on the video, but after that's done, I'm gonna cut the shape out with just a regular shears. If you want to make sure you have it nice and consistent, you can actually cut it halfway through and then just use the cut to cut the rest. Just to make sure it's not gonna shift on me. So now I'm just gonna use that edge to cut the rest of my panel. After that's done, we're gonna add our scalloped edge. So now I'm gonna take my scalloped pinking shears and I'm gonna scallop this curved edge. So I have that edge scalloped. Now I'm gonna take my second panel and I'm gonna scallop the top edge as well. After that's done, you can take a lighter and you can just zap any threads that may think of coming loose. And when we have that done, now we're gonna attach our top panels to our see-through panel. So first we're gonna do that with the panel that has the curved edge. To help us with that, I'm gonna use some double-sided tape. This is 1/8 of an inch tape, and I'm gonna place it right against the edge. And now I'm gonna place my upper panel right side down, take my see-through panel and also have it right side down. I'm gonna align it with the opening. You can fold your project in half to make sure that you have a nice square panel. And now after that's done, we're gonna do the same thing with our second outer panel. This time it's gonna be easier because it's just a straight edge. And now again, we're gonna place the panel over and we're gonna overlap our clear vinyl by about 1/4 to 3/8 of an inch. After that's done, we're gonna take our project to the machine and we're gonna sew along the curved edge on the waterproof canvas panel, and we're gonna do the same on the other waterproof canvas panel. So we want to now connect our 3 panels together, and we're going to be sewing with about 1/8 of an inch seam allowance on both and 3.5 stitch length. Make sure to backstitch on the start and on the end of your seam. Now that our panels are connected, we're gonna work on our zipper. So first we're gonna square off our 1 pair of the ends, and I'm gonna use my favorite method, the one with the lighter, but if you don't feel comfortable doing so, just square the ends off and base stitch them. When you have your zipper end squared off, you're gonna take your panel and place it right side up. I'm gonna start with the front of my pouch where I have my rounded opening, and I'm gonna place the zipper about 1/2 inch from the left edge. I'm gonna be placing it coil side down. On the other side, I'm gonna measure 1 inch from the right side and mark it. When that's done, you're gonna transfer that layout onto the other side with the other side of your zipper. So you wanna make sure that the edges meet. So you're gonna be again 1/2 inch away from the edge. Mark your 1 inch on the other side. And when you have that done, you can now just split the zipper tape apart. And you're gonna take your project to the machine and you're gonna sew the zipper on from the beginning to the pin. When you reach the place where the pin is, you're gonna slip the tail of the zipper so it's not gonna be caught in the seam. And you're gonna do the same thing on this side and just slip your zipper tail. And you're gonna be sewing with the 1/4 of an inch seam allowance and 3.5 stitch length. And again, back stitch on the beginning and on the end of your seam. After the zipper is sewn in on both sides, now we're gonna flip it over, finger press the top edge. And when you have those seams finger pressed and you can clip it like I did, you're gonna take the project back to the machine, and now you're gonna be sewing along the folded edge with the 1/8 of an inch seam allowance and 3.5 stitch length from the end to the end, still making sure the tails of your zipper stay free of the seam. And you're gonna do it on both sides. This way we're gonna secure the zipper seam so the zipper stays nice in an upwards position. Now that the zipper is top stitched, now we're gonna connect the sides of our pouch. So you're gonna align the zippers and clip the top, making sure it's nicely aligned. And then continue down towards the bottom. Do the same thing on the other side, so align the tops. and continue clipping. And now when that's done, we're gonna take the project back to the machine and we're gonna sew along those two sides. You can sew with the 1/4 of an inch seam allowance, or you can increase the seam allowance to 3/8. I would probably increase the seam allowance a little bit just to give myself a little room, so I can afterwards come back and trim the seam allowances, because we want them nice and neat inside of our bag, since this bag is not lined. So take your project to the machine and sew along those two edges with the seam allowance between 1/4 of an inch and 3/8 of an inch. Now that our sides are sewn, I'm gonna trim my seam allowances. So now I have a nice and neat seam allowances, and I'm just gonna give the fabric a little zap. And now you could just turn your pouch right side out and just have a flat pouch, or if you want to, you can add some box corners, and I think I'm gonna do box corners. I'm gonna make them pretty small, so I'm gonna use the 3/8 by 3/8 measurement. Just remember, when you are doing box corners on a pouch that have a folded panel, you want to measure from the fold and from the seam. The same thing on here. So just make sure you are measuring from the seam, and on the bottom from the bottom folded part. So now we're gonna box our corners. After I have my box corners clipped, I'm gonna take the project to the machine and I'm gonna sew along the openings with the 1/4 of an inch seam allowance, again giving myself a little space to trim my seam allowances after the sewing is done. My box corners are sewn. Now I'm gonna trim my seam allowances. Again, I'm gonna zap all my little knots and threads, because that's gonna be all exposed inside, so I want to make sure everything looks nice and neat. Give your pouch once over to make sure everything is looking good. What you can actually do with waterproof canvas, you can also melt it and keep the seam allowances together on the top. And now we're gonna turn the project right side out. If you have a pretty stiff see-through vinyl like I did, you can just heat it up with a little bit with a hair dryer to make it more flexible. That's what I just did off screen. And on the end also, you can just give it a nice blast of warm air, and that should also remove any wrinkles you may create during turning your pouch right side out. So now that my pouch is turned right side out, the last thing to do for me is to finish up my zipper. So first I'm gonna insert my zipper pull on, so I want to make sure that my ends align nicely. And I'm gonna insert the zipper pull. And now the last thing is to finish up our zipper end, and you can do that with the scrap piece of vinyl, or you can use a metal zipper end, and I forgot to grab mine when I was prepping for my project. Now I'm gonna do it right now. If you don't have the metal zipper end, you can refer to my previous videos. I have instructions there how to attach just a homemade piece of cute vinyl with rivets to create your zipper ends. So now I think I'm gonna also trim my zipper. I always like to melt my zipper tape after I cut it. And now I'm gonna fold it over and insert the end into the cap. And after that's done, your pouch is ready to use. The project is now completed. Our see-through version of the JT Basic Zipper Pouch number 2 is ready to go. We have a nice see-through panel in the front and 2 outer panels made out of waterproof canvas. I hope you enjoyed this quick tutorial, and if you already have the pattern, you don't need to purchase anything else. You can just go ahead and follow these instructions to create the see-through version of the pouch. But if you still are not the owner of a copy of the pattern, follow the link in the description to grab a copy, and this way you're gonna be able to create this see-through version of the pouch, and also this fully lined version that is made with vinyl and waterproof canvas. In the future, I'm gonna be posting a video tutorial how to create this pouch using only woven fabric. If you have the pattern, or if you decide to get it, you're gonna be able to create 3 versions of the pouch with just this one pattern. If you are still not a subscriber, please make sure to do so. If you don't want to miss any upcoming video tutorials, make sure to check the notification bell. And if you want to stay in touch with me, please make sure to join my Facebook group and to follow me on Instagram. Links to everything is posted in the description box below. Till the next time.